Brett Baer, the host of Special Report, has been digesting some of it. Obviously, it's an 800-page report. We've not had time to get into it all, Brett, but there are some, shall we say, groundbreaking bits of new information in there that we hadn't heard previous till now.
Well, that's right, John, and it is very detailed, and we have posted it, and people can read it on their own to go through it. But as we go through it, and as you hear this press conference, you can hear a couple of things that are very new that we are just learning about. One is this deputies meeting that happens at 7:30 the night of the attack. And in that meeting, the highest-ranking official inside is Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. There are 10 action items from the report that come out of this meeting that lasts roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours. 5 of the 10 deal with the video, the Islamic video, and the characterization of the video and how the messaging about the video is going to come out. The other action items, we don't have specific granularity on yet, but one element is that military members are told to change uniforms in case they are going to go into Libya so that we are not seen as the U.S. invading Libya. And there is concern and talk in that call about interacting with the Libyan government to make sure that there is nothing that is out of bounds as far as the Libyan government is concerned. Now, understand, at this moment, Ambassador Stevens is still missing. The attack is still going on. And 7 hours after Leon Panetta, the Secretary of Defense, orders the military to do everything it can to move assets to rescue the people still on the ground, not one, according to Trey Gowdy and this committee, not one wheel was moving in the U.S. military towards Benghazi.
Yeah. Democrats on the committee have issued their own report. They essentially say that nothing could have been done to save the lives of those 4 Americans. The first question that Trey Gowdy was asked after the initial news conference today suggested that there was nothing new in this report. I want to play, Brett, for our viewers, his response to that question.
You didn't know about any of the emails from Ambassador Stevens. You didn't know about any of the emails from Sidney Blumenthal to whomever he was emailing. You didn't know that a single U.S. military asset did not meet a single designated timeline. Think about that for a second. The world's most powerful military did not meet a single solitary self-imposed timeline. So all of that is new.
So there are things that could have been done, but again, one of the chief conclusions that we heard today was that there were no military assets rolling in any way to rescue those people.
They didn't move. They didn't try.
Yeah.
They didn't mobilize. They didn't. Despite the order to go, something happened. And what that something is, I think there are a lot of people that wanted that answer. They wanted the specific quote. They wanted one person. It's a very detailed report, as we talked about many times with this attack, that there are 3 parts. There's the before, the security, lacking security before that was really, everyone who looked at it said it was atrocious. One person called it a suicide mission at that CIA annex. Then you have the attack itself and what happened in reaction to it, and when they knew that the attack was, in their words, over, even though as the team was escaping the compound where Ambassador Stevens was, they were under attack all the way to the CIA annex. And then the third part is the post story. And that is the whole talking points. That is Susan Rice on the 5 Sunday talk shows. And you just heard Chairman Gowdy say that that was not based on talking points, that he claims that Susan Rice's comments on those 5 Sunday talk shows were, in his words, made up from whole cloth. So you see these 3 parts playing out in detail in this 800-page report. By the way, Chairman Gowdy will be on Special Report tonight at 6 p.m.
That is going to be fascinating to see. Jay Carney was the White House press secretary at the time. 1 week after the attack on the Benghazi compound, he said this.
I'm saying that based on the information that our initial information, and that includes all information, we saw no evidence to back up claims by others that this was a pre-planned or premeditated attack. We saw evidence that it was sparked by the reaction to this video. And that is what we know thus far, based on the evidence, concrete evidence, not supposition, concrete evidence that we have thus far.
So a week later, Jay Carney is still saying that it was all about this anti-Mohammed video. Hillary Clinton sent an email to her daughter Chelsea that night, while the attacks were essentially still underway, saying that it was an attack.
No, that's right. You know, a lot of the people around Benghazi in the administration, Democrats talking about this attack and in retrospect say this was at the beginning all about the fog of war. What this report appears to show is that the fog was created here in Washington. It was crystal clear on the ground and up the chain from the people there. And they were in direct contact with people in Washington. But the fog was created in Washington by analysts who relied on press reports instead of eyewitness accounts on the ground. And that is all detailed inside this report.
Special report tonight with Chairman Gowdy is going to be fascinating. Brett Baer, the host of that program, we'll see you tonight. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, John.